I greet you in the love and the light of the infinite Creator. Event is coming soon. YouTube channel. Here's the latest intel.
Starseeds and Lightworkers, Time to Face the Dark Mirror. By Edward Morgan. We are moving out of 3D separation consciousness. This is a subject that feels timely because much ancient darkness is being released right now from the planetary light grids and from our energy fields. We are passing through a powerful time in our collective awakening. Light and dark forces have pushed our collective evolutionary process to a crucial point. In the next 2 years it is likely that many starseeds on the planet will be called to awaken, 2017 to 2018. We are being pushed to awaken and align with our true authentic light. This process of mass awakening will continue until around 2032. Then we enter a new period of seeding the new earth. Now we are clearing out the ancient darkness. Anything that is not love is being pushed to the surface. Fear and separation consciousness are the hallmarks of the outgoing epoch. Love and unity consciousness are the hallmarks of the new age of light being birthed on the planet. This has been an experiment in separation consciousness. Earth has been a dark planet for many thousands of years. We just have to look at what has been going on the past few thousand years to know this. We have been locked in a form of spiritual quarantine and it has been quite challenging until fairly recently to birth much light here. This has been an experiment in separation consciousness that has gone just about as far as it can go. Ask any starseed, a being who is not native to this 3D 4D dimension of the Earth, and they will tell you that there is something very wrong with the way things are done here on planet Earth. There is something very wrong with the way we treat the planet, with the way we enslave human communities to work for short-term gains that in no way enhance life on Earth in the long term. Ask any Earthseed, a being who has been stuck in the reincarnational cycle of this dimension of Earth for a very long time, and they may say they have no idea what you are talking about. To most people on the planet, currently Earthseeds, spiritual awakening is at best seen as a self-centered indulgence and at worst something to be feared and blocked. We are a genetically altered race. Cosmic interference goes back a long way and it is a truism that we are a genetically altered race. Now this statement has many aspects, both positive and negative. We have been positively assisted in our genetic, conscious evolution here by a number of star groups. We have been helped particularly by our Pleiadian brothers and sisters amongst others. Much DNA material was gifted by our Pleiadian brothers and sisters in the distant past. In our more recent history there has been a more negative form of interference and our DNA became spliced with lower frequency, Orion, DNA. This has made the human race more aggressive than was originally conceived. It seems that at a higher level this was a collective decision taken to help humanity collectively explore separation from source energy. So humanity has both angelic and demonic potential. This no doubt explains much of its history since the demise of Golden Atlantis. Speaking on this decision to explore separation consciousness, who am I to question such a decision? Having walked this earth plane for nearly 6 decades I certainly ready and willing to do all I can to assist in helping as many as possible move on through this rather painful collective experiment. This is the time all the prophecies speak about. There are dark forces on the planet that are anti-light and anti-evolutionary. Mostly these forces are hidden though as the energies are shifting they are becoming easier to recognize. This is all part of the great game of growth. Around the year 2000 dark forces became aware of what was happening in terms of the planetary shift and decided to do something about it. Please remember this is all part of the game of consciousness evolution even though it can feel more than a little tough for those doing the work on the ground. Before the year 2000 it was a little different. I remember the 90s as being fairly idyllic with very little interference from the dark side. We could manifest our car parking spaces with little trouble. Spirituality seemed light, hopeful and joyful. The world seemed less volatile. The new age of light seemed just around the corner. This all seemed to change around the millennium when a plan was put in motion to block the ascension process through all means available. This plan involved utilizing both practical physical forces as well as lower energetic astral forces to block the ascension, awakening process. Certain Lightworkers, Starseeds were targeted and attacked. This is how the game has been played out. We are in a time where light and dark forces seem to be battling it out. This is also reflected on the inside with the ego and higher self seemingly wrestling to determine which path we will take in future. The path of fear and contraction or the path of love. This is the time of prophecy, and so everything has to change. So many prophecies around the world have spoken about this time. From the Mayan calendar to the Book of Revelations, they all say roughly the same thing. We will pass through a time of great spiritual darkness to eventually emerge into a new time of light on the planet. Much darkness is coming to the surface. There is so much darkness and manipulation in many of our governing systems that is becoming apparent. There are many starseeds working to expose the dark. If you want to know who they are, just think of those warriors of love, anonymous and whistleblowers such as Edward Snowden. Some of this darkness seems so gross and evil that it seems barely believable. Evidence of very dark practices in high places are slowly becoming revealed to the masses. This is one reason why many old systems are wobbling badly. The real reason they are wobbling is because they are not aligned with the new energies coming in now. Some are ripe for collapse. Some for radical change. The financial system is perhaps key to this process of global awakening, since currently it serves to keep most of humanity locked in anxiety, anger, busyness, distraction, insecurity and fear. Capitalism in its current form is highly problematic because it is incompatible with the energies of the incoming Aquarian age. The new energies are about collective cooperation and unity consciousness, whereas our current capitalist system is mostly about serving a very small number of people at the top of the food chain at the expense of the many. The dark can no longer shut out the light. The dark has been trying to hold on to control through various subversive activities. 9/11, which was certainly a last-ditch desperate act by the dark to keep the earth plane locked in violence, war and enemy patterning, seeing a group of people as the enemy. Western leaders have been persuaded by the dark to launch military invasion on the pretense of fighting terrorism. What this is really about is an attempt to control essential resources and strategic footholds, as well as making a few corporate chums much wealthier. Most importantly, keeping the vibration of the planet artificially in fear. Most of what we see on the world stage is heavily manipulated and designed to keep humanity locked in a frequency prison that restricts our ability to connect with our inner light and the emerging ascension grids within and around the earth. When the vibrations are kept artificially low, then it is difficult to know our authentic light. We are kept locked in negative ego patterns that help to keep us playing small. The good news is this frequency prison is no longer able to shut out the incoming light. There are just too many starseeds awakening on the planet, and the light bombarding Earth now is just too strong. Since 2012, most souls being born here are starseed in nature. Look into a dark mirror. This work of facing darkness must start with ourselves. We are multidimensional beings, and we have come through a long reincarnational cycle that involves experiencing both the light and the dark. At a soul level, we choose to know the dark so that eventually we can undo it in ourselves and in our shared reality. I have met many lightworkers who are afraid to look at the dark. They only want to see what is light, bright and beautiful about themselves. I understand the reasons for this totally. When we first come to the spiritual path, it can feel so nurturing, affirming and expanding. At a certain point, when we have gained enough spiritual strength, it is important to look also at our darkness. The intention here is not to reinforce our darkness, but to understand the lessons there and to dissipate anything that no longer serves our highest path. When we look into this dark mirror, we start to feel and release any stuck emotions. We start to process our unquestioned beliefs and the narrow ways we perceive the world. When we embrace our light and look into this dark mirror, anything that is not of the light will eventually be cast out. Look with great compassion. When we look into ourselves, we need to do so with great compassion. The same is true when we look at darkness in the world. We are only triggered by darkness when we have unresolved dark patterns, beliefs that the dark is somehow stronger than light, fear of the dark, hidden vows with the dark and so on. Looking in the dark mirror can be a powerful process. I have been doing this work more intensely since 9/11, which was a powerful wake-up call for many. A few years ago I set up a Facebook group called Conscious Media, which is where I invited others to look deeply into the collective dark shadow. I have had lots of personal processing with issues such as violent repression in countries such as Tibet and Palestine. My heart has ached for the refugees from Libya and Syria. I have processed my issues with corporations like Monsanto, aka Frankenstein Foods, who seem to care nothing about the planet and everything about their annual profits. I have looked at Western governments becoming increasingly repressive and invasive. The list goes on, and I will not bore you with more details. The point is, after doing this work for a few years, I have burnt out most if not all of these painful triggers. I still see and hear what is going on in the world, but it does not rattle me. Now I am able to more fully focus on the light again after this process. I am able to do something of service rather than feel overwhelmed by the enormity of the problems in the world. The dark mirror can have a freeing effect. The dark mirror can also help us uncover personal karma. All the dark reflections we see in the world, all the abuse, violence, injustice, whatever the triggers, they all reflect something important back to us. They show where we have been abuser and abused, tyrant and the oppressed, master and slave, killer and the slain, and so on. This is why certain reflections hurt more than others. Some of us have had many lifetimes growing through certain challenges, and now these patterns are being provoked by the light. Do we need psychic protection? Of course, the question is raised. If the world is our mirror, why do we need psychic protection? Why not just keep working on cleaning, polishing our own stuff? Because we are multidimensional beings and there are just so many layers to clean and polish. This is like the layers of an onion. As we clear the top layers only, then do the deeper layers reveal themselves. Therefore it is ridiculous to believe that we can clear out our psychic crap in one weekend workshop. When we start the process, we clear out something and stir up something up. Like mud at the bottom of a bucket of water that gets stirred up when we start to clean the water. Because of this, it is important to know what to do when we unintentionally stir up lower astral stuff. Those who only focus on the light without any awareness of the dark are being a tad naive. The dark is part of the evolutionary impulse. Yes, they block and challenge and test in order to create the drive and desire to fully embrace the light. Knowing this does not help when we encounter the dark blocking our path. So, I recommend some basic techniques to clear and protect your energy fields until that wondrous day when those techniques are no longer necessary. That time is a little way off at the moment. There is much help available. Fortunately, we are not alone in this grand adventure of consciousness. We are not here in this dark matrix alone. There is much help on the inner planes. We are not alone, and when we feel able to connect more fully with our higher self, guides, angelic forces and the ascension grids within and around the planet, then it becomes much easier to deal with lower astral interference. The light within Gaia herself is there to assist us. Energies from the central sun are impacting the Earth via the stargate of our own local sun. There are many star races focusing on planet Earth right now, as well as interdimensional beings who are contacting beings open to their messages around the planet. There is just so much help now in clearing out the dark that there really is no need to worry about it anymore. The end game has been decided upon. Those who wish to continue following their soul evolution in a 3D existence can do so, elsewhere. This dimension of the Earth is ascending through 4D to 5D, and no darkness will be allowed entry therein. If we wish to experience heaven on Earth, then we must face the dark and then drop it.
Please like us and share with your social media. Please subscribe and click the bell to be notified of our new videos.
Remember to check out our playlist for important intel you may have missed.
Be sure to enter our subscriber appreciation $100 monthly giveaway. The link is in our description.
And visit our sister channel. The event is coming soon for additional intel and information.
Stay tuned.
Victory of the Light.
Event is coming soon. YouTube channel.